Democratic Process for Chinese in the World. My name is Kathy-Ying, a Canadian political activist who originally came from China in 2000. I was born in Shanrao, Jiangxi Province on September 5, 1967. My parents sent my elder brother and me back to our hometown, Jiangyin, Jiangsu Province, when I was about 3 years old due to the tension between China and Taiwan. People needed to be evacuated from the cities to the countryside or hid in the bomb shelters. Nearly 50 years later, the threat of war is looming once again. Between then and now, we have had a great experience of peace worldwide and have almost forgotten about life's difficulties at the time of war. Hunger, poverty, sickness, and death will be widespread and the norm globally. I hope to persuade China to accept democracy, give up its communist theory to stop the war, and bring peace back to the world. I'm confident that I can accomplish my goal through my knowledge based on my experience in China and Canada. It is a critical time for the United Nations to take action to prevent the potential of another deadly global conflict. When I was a university grade 4 student back in 1989, I went to Beijing and observed the protests at Tiananmen Square on May 30 and then departed after 2 days visit. The bloody conflict broke out just days later. It was a harrowing experience for all the Chinese across the world. The students who marched to Beijing and called for democracy were met with the tanks and the bullets. To be honest, my family was ordinary and my father passed away early in my life. I have little knowledge about politics at that time, but I could feel the hardship of my mother who supported our family by herself. I became an engineer in Sinopec, Maoming Petrochemical Company, a state-owned corporation, married to my husband Ben there, and I gave birth to my daughter in 1993. We immigrated to Canada in 2000 in search of a better life and a political environment. I was very interested in joining the Conservative Party of Canada, CPC, in 2005 because I enjoyed the freedom to participate in any political activities in Canada. I ran public school board trustee twice back in 2010 and 2014. Furthermore, I became a CPC candidate in 2021 for the federal election. Canada is consistently ranked high on the index of public integrity around the world. And I'm glad that I learned so much from it. Based on my knowledge of Canadian politics, I hope that I can help China to adopt the democratic process and then the world can accept China. A corrupted totalitarian regime won't last long. Democratic governments are not perfect, and sometimes their efficiencies are not excellent either. However, they are more transparent to the public and accept surveillances and criticisms by the masses. Chinese who immigrate to democratic countries would better adapt to local societies and are not controlled by the Chinese government. I'm glad many Chinese Canadians get involved in all levels of government's elections in Canada now, and it happens all around the world as well. For those who remain in China, I think people need to talk to the representatives who you don't know how they are elected. Also, all the information about the cities, provinces, and the country should be transparent and open to the public, and the people have the right to know all the budgets and how all governments spend their taxes money. What gives the Chinese government the right to fund so many other countries without consulting with the public? How the Chinese government's decisions are made? The modern US was built in opposition to the notion of taxation without a representation back in the 18th century. Yet Chinese taxpayers have not received the proper respect for their contribution to this day. China learned almost everything from the Western. However, they won't give Chinese people freedom, democracy, and the rule of law in other developed nations worldwide. After removing totalitarian elements in the Chinese government, the people can obtain the rights that they have been denied for so long. Then the peace will soon be restored to our society.